up, guys? It's March 9th, 2018. It's about 6:23 a.m. in the morning. It's about 28 degrees outside. Woke up this morning to about an inch of snow here in the Laurel Highlands. I don't have to work till about 4 p.m. till midnight tonight. So I decided to grab my fishing stuff, grab my 2018 Pennsylvania State fishing license, throw all my crap in my truck, and head out to Acme Dam to do some fishing. It's freezing cold, it's windy, it's nasty. Most of the time this would tell me to stay home, but I can't sit inside anymore. I got the fever. So we're gonna go out, we're gonna throw some big rubber jerk baits and see if I can't get a big nasty largemouth to eat it. Stay tuned. It's actually about 25 degrees this morning and snowing, but I had enough of winter and I got to get out here and at least throw a couple baits around. I just want to talk about a couple of techniques that I would use at a lake like this. Cover a few baits. This time of year, it's always good to throw your rattle baits. I just want to point out this morning that we actually have a west wind. If it was a north wind, I would probably be sitting on my couch right now. However, you know, with a west wind, even though it's cold, I figured, what the heck, I got nothing to lose. Essentially, what I'm going to try this morning, I keep hearing about these micro medusas and how they're catching large bass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my musky rod and I'm going to throw a couple of micro medusas on. I'm going to do some vertical jigging from shore, just kind of pop them, work them real slow, and we'll see what happens. So stay tuned. You know, when fishing a lake like this, a lot of things kind of come into play. I mean, you got to talk about water temperature and wind direction and structure and really trying to identify what the fish are doing at that given point in time. On a day like today, I don't expect to catch a single fish because it's cold, the conditions are tough. You know, if I was walleye fishing, maybe. This point here, if you guys can see this point, I don't typically like to give away my secrets, but you know, I've kind of changed my methodology over the years. If you have the information, why not share it? So this point that I'm standing on is home to two of the biggest fish that I've caught on this lake, both of which were over 6 pounds. And the interesting thing, I've seen multiple people catch 5 to 6 pounders off of this point, usually end of May, beginning of June. But it's not uncommon to see a bunch of people out here throwing worms and bobbers, and that does catch fish. You know, we'll throw some minnows on for crappie in the spring. I think this is a 24-acre impoundment. Not a very deep lake. The deepest part of the lake down by the dam is about 8 feet, which I hit with my depth finder on the canoe. There's the dam, and down there on that end, that's where the stream comes in. You know, a lot of times, like I said, in spring, those fish will be starting to spawn, and they're building their nest all up and down this shoreline. And I think it's interesting because there are a ton of bluegill and panfish in here. We get into spring into summer, you know, you'll start seeing a lot of frogs up and down here. You know, a lot of times people don't talk about the level of effort when you watch shows like Muskie Hunter and, you know, any of those Pete Manas or whatever. They may go out on a boat and catch 5-6 muskie in a day, or you may see the linders catch, you know, half dozen walleyes. But what they don't tell you is they've been out on the water for 3-4 days. So just like anything else, if you want to be productive fishing in the state of Pennsylvania, you got to get out there and you got to put your time in. And days like today, where I got the itch, it's not about catching fish, it's about being outside for as long as I can stand it and testing some baits and really kind of knocking the rust off. Plus, it's just nice to see something in the water. This probably wasn't the best idea I've ever had, considering it's actually about 23 degrees outside. The wind's blowing about 15 miles an hour. It's snowing. We do have a west wind. However, I think my excitement to get outside and throw a couple of baits around may have been a poor decision. It's okay though, because, you know, it's better than sitting at home inside right now. One thing I want to mention a couple of things to you guys. Hopefully, you know, this makes sense. So what I'd like to do is at some point I want to show you a lake map of Acme, and I'd like to start breaking some of these lakes down to kind of show you how I fish them. The 3 most important aspects to this is, you know, number 1, getting out to a new lake, trying your best just to go out, pick a lake, you know, find a species you want to target and try it. Number 2 is think outside the box with regards to your lures, your lure selection. You know, just because you've caught fish off of a worm and bobber or a minnow and bobber doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to catch bigger fish or more fish off of, you know, lures or different types of baits. I just want to urge everybody to get out to these lakes and try new things. You know, if the weather was a lot warmer today, I'd have been out here for probably 4, 5, 6 hours just throwing a micro medusa around trying to catch a bass. You know, I hear about these baits catching large fish out west. You know, I hear about people picking them up here in Pennsylvania, you know, on them. It's a cool bait to throw. They're pretty light for the most part. So I figured I would try it. So pick something, pick a lure, learn how to use that lure, and then get out there and hit a specific lake with that until you guys start producing fish. That'll help you guys learn a specific skill set and then apply it to a lake near you. And lastly, you know, when you're at a lake like this, go out to Google Maps, take a look around on the map, you know, do some fishing. When you catch fish, you mark them on the map. Also make some notes as to what day it was, what time it was, what the temperature was, what the water temperature was, what the wind direction was. You know, all of these things go into pinpointing where fish are on specific lakes at specific times. It's important to me to track that, and hopefully you guys see the benefit. If you do those 3 things, you're going to start catching more fish here in the state of Pennsylvania. So with that said, hopefully this information was beneficial. I wanted to keep it short. I appreciate you guys. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel. So with that said, hopefully you guys get a chance to go out to Muskie Max out in Moon Township tomorrow. It's going to be a big show. There's going to be a lot of professionals there. There's going to be a lot of new product. There's going to be a lot of good product in general. So hopefully you guys get out there and take a look at that show. Until next time, fish on.